Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Hey there, Motorheads. We've all seen automotive enthusiasts that want to modify their vehicle, and they go out and maybe grab a body kit, spend thousands of dollars on it, but then they run to the hardware store and just grab any bolt or fastener, and they grab a pop rivet or something like that and put it on the car. Well, at ZSPEC Design, Karen, your slogan is hardware matters.
Correct.
Why is hardware so important if you've got a high-performance vehicle or something you want to make really look good?
It makes the engine bay look pretty.
That's it. It's bling for your automobile. But there's also some advantages too, because at ZSPEC Design you have materials that are going to be better than the OEM materials.
Correct. So we have titanium and we also have stainless. This is titanium up here, and this is our stainless line, one of the strongest in the industry.
Of course, you need strength, especially in places where there's unsprung weight or there's a lot of vibration and
Yes.
that sort of thing. And a lot of these smaller engine cars have a lot of vibration, so this is going to hold up to that.
And our body kit hardware also comes with a rivet nut or a well nut, so you can choose if you want an application that will stay on the car more permanently, which is a rivet nut, or if you're looking to be able to take it on and off, you'll use a well nut.
So how many different colors are we talking, and how many different designs do you have at ZSPEC?
So we have 15 different colors for under the hood. That's our stainless line. So it comes with a colored washer, which is the 15 different ones. And then the titanium, we have 7 different colors, which would be all of these right here.
If you have a certain color combination and I want something different, how do we go about that?
Well, they could just pick up the phone and give us a call, and I can always customize it to what they would like. If somebody is looking for, say, red and black as their colored washer, I can customize it for them and change up the baggies for them.
You mentioned kits. What kind of hardware is included in a kit, and how many different kits do you have?
We have over 170 different kits for different makes and models. Like a Ford Mustang, there's 3 different applications for that. Chevy Camaro, Corvette, a lot for the Nissan Infiniti Datsun, Kia Stinger, things of that nature.
And you started in the Datsun Nissan world.
We did.
And you've expanded quickly. Who was coming to you needing parts like this?
So we spun it up because we have a Nissan 300ZX that we wanted to kind of modify. The bolts on the engine bay were kind of just kind of yucky. We didn't necessarily like what was on the market, so we decided to customize our own and dress up our own engine bays, which we have to the fullest extent. And then we had more and more requests for other vehicles, and that's kind of where it's spun from there.
What's the latest and greatest? What's come down the pike recently?
We have a newer Ford Bronco.
And a lot of stuff, it's not just in the engine bay too. You've got fasteners for other parts of the vehicle.
Correct. Inside the Bronco, they have a door and a cargo net that we can also add fasteners to. There's a center console that we add fasteners to, trunk fasteners, door jamb fasteners. We basically can cover a good majority of the vehicle.
You and your husband, Chris, he's an engineer, and you think of a lot of details. Rubber gaskets underneath the washers that'll make sure you don't scratch the paint and that sort of thing. And that's included too in the oil cap you have over there. What are some of the design considerations that make that unique on the market?
Well, what's unique is that you can customize the bolts around here. We have 7 different colors because this is titanium, so it makes it a lighter weight than stainless. And you also get a cap that you can, after you twist this on, you then center the cap. This way it'll be centered with the car. And it does have the gasket, so this way, it does seal it in.
I know with tires and with things like an oil cap, it's annoying because you put it on there and it always comes up off center, so that is a terrific idea. And then moving on here, you've got a battery bracket.
We do. So this is a battery bracket, one of many that we have for different vehicles. This would be a Nissan 300ZX Z31 because this one actually mounts to the firewall. But otherwise, we have almost any make and model.
And then moving on, some trim pieces here. You've got a carbon fiber look piece, which obviously would be an upgrade.
Yeah, so this is a 350Z door finisher. This is actually for an 03 to 05. This happens to be the passenger side, but we have a carbon fiber finish on this. The OEM ones tend to scratch, and ours do not.
Very nice. And then you do have a piece that looks more like an OEM piece, and this for
Yes.
300Z, correct?
Yes, this is our newest product that is just getting released this month. This is the door finishers for the 300ZX. It's coming in 4 different colors.
And onto a dash bezel that you have as well. This is for 350Zs?
This 300ZX
300ZX,
yes.
I gotcha.
Yes.
And you make right and left-hand drive, which I think
Correct.
is very cool. So the world can come to you.
And they do. We have distributors all over the world, Japan, Australia, and they require the right-hand drive.
I love the attention to detail at ZSPEC Design. Even little things like here on this Momo steering wheel, the bolts here, you can get those in different colors, and they really add a pop of color to it.
They do. It's almost like jewelry, if someone likes jewelry.
Well, I'd say that for the whole car. You're looking at
Exactly.
bling for your entire vehicle.
Yes.
And you're saving a few pounds of weight too with the
Yes.
materials you guys
Correct.
use if folks are interested in that. And if you don't know what you need, ZSPEC Design sells this in metric and SAE. This is a tool to find out what kind of hardware and what sizes you actually need for your vehicle. Again, they have thought of everything. You can find them at zspecdesign.com because hardware matters. More great products for your vehicle coming up, so stay tuned to Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com, is brought to you by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics, Campbell's Custom Care, your detail specialist, and by Cloys Incorporated. Timing chains need tension, your customers don't.
Here at Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com, we love hearing from you at home. And this is a piece that just aired a few weeks ago, and folks have been raving about it. It's gotten a huge response, so we wanted to show it to you again. If you work on your car, maybe you're a shade tree mechanic, a racer, a professional mechanic who just needs more space, you often work outside. We know that can mean extreme elements. You've got extreme heat, and you've got rain, and of course you can bring one of those 10 by 10 canopies with you, but we know what a hassle those things can be, and it takes a couple of people to set them up. So along comes the Shade Wagon, and Jeremy, you guys came up with a solution to all of those things. What inspired the Shade Wagon?
Well, Dave, we wanted another way, something that was easier, something one person could do. You know, the four-legged system is difficult to set up. Usually you break it. We just wanted an easier way. We wanted one person to be able to set up their shade. Also, we wanted something that was dynamic, that could meet your individual needs for whatever you were doing outside. And that we did.
We'll talk about all the specifics, but first, I want to talk about durability. This is something that is stronger than a lot of the things out there. How's it going to last for all the things that nature can handle?
The plastic is fiberglass reinforced plastic. All the metal parts are stainless steel. And the canopy is ripstop nylon.
And you talked about how dynamic this thing is. What are some of the different configurations you can put this in? It's not just your standard 10 by 10 that's going to be the same all the time. You can configure this based on what you're doing.
That's the best part about it. You really can just tailor your shade to whatever it is you're doing. It can change heights, it can change pitch angles, it rotates, it really does a lot of very cool motions and actions. So this is what makes it, we think, better than the other system.
The sun goes to set, you can angle this the right way to keep the sun out of your eyes or off your head the whole time here. Now what about setup? Of course, it's a one-person setup. What's it like to actually get this thing out of the case and set it up?
It's very simple. You open up the lid, rotate the system up till it clicks, pull the pole up until it's at the height you want. You rotate the arms, pull them out till they stop, you're set up.
And of course, when you're done, you just fold it back down, it goes on the wagon, and you can just take it right home.
Taking it down is the best part about it. It's very, very quick to take down, which is, again, in contrary to the four-legged system that no one wants to take down, this really takes down quick and easy. It's the best part about the system.
And it all fits in that case, which fits on the wagon. Is there extra room in the case for extra stuff?
There can be. You know, you just pack it in there. You know, the canopy just, you know, all you do is just stuff it in. So again, unlike the four-legged system that never goes back in the case, and you're certainly not going to zip it up, everything just stuffs in real nice. And you know, yes, there is extra room in there. There'll be a stake bag that comes with every system.
That's what the Shade Wagon looks like when it's on the ground. Let me show you one other configuration that is super cool. It's called the utility hitch setup, and we've seen how versatile the Shade Wagon is, and this even adds to the versatility. How does this work?
Basically just slides into any 2-inch receiver on a vehicle, fold out the arms, and you drop the mast into the system, and it just sets up just like it's in the wagon.
And of course, this is great for a tailgating setup, but it's a tool. It's much more useful than that. When you're working on your vehicle, how can you configure this to give yourself some shade, like maybe changing a tire or something?
Yeah, changing a tire, you can swing it around. We've got 180 degrees, and you can pivot the canopy system. It'll pretty much cover right up to the cab, so you can change your tires, set up your tools on your tailgate.
We talked about the durability of the Shade Wagon, and we know it's made out of good parts. What if something should go wrong?
You know, basically we give a limited lifetime warranty. Under normal circumstances, we're confident enough in the product and in the materials that we've used that it'll hold up. But we've also made it where every part and piece is replaceable. So if something did happen, you know, anything can happen, you know. It's just a simple, any piece can be ordered and replaced by any homeowner, contract, you know, anybody that's using it.
It's durable. It is incredibly versatile. It's called the Shade Wagon. It's going to change your life at work. It's going to change your life on the weekends, too, when you're at your kid's soccer game or tailgating. You're going to love it. Find it again at theshadewagon.com. And find more Motorhead Garage and more cool products for your vehicle when we come back. See you in a few.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com, coming to you from the Campbell's Custom Care Studio.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. One of the most common questions I get from folks who watch the show, whether I see them in person or whether they send us a note at MotorheadGarage.tv, they want to know if TriboTex really works. Now, this stuff is not just snake oil. It is backed by lots of sophisticated science, and here's your proof from the archives. You know, we've seen how TriboTex can do amazing things for all vehicles, but Pasha, that's not what you set out to research when you developed TriboTex, was it?
We looked at the applications of safe materials in hip implants. If you know, the teeth and hips have completely different application. Teeth as hard as you can get, and hips is a very soft, special material that usually outlasts teeth in a normal person. The miracle of that cartilage material gave us an insight what we can do to bring it to other applications, like industrial ones. We bought Drive Cars, was fixing cars, working on all applications, performance, advanced ones. So when you can feel a difference in the car, that really sparks your attention.
What was it like when you thought, oh my gosh, I can use this in my vehicle?
Actually, it was opposite. We used in the vehicle and see, wow, it really works, and showed dramatic results. The vehicle got quieter right away, and then when we build up the film over time, we saw improvement in performance gain over time, and then we started to actually drift all research toward how we can make that vehicle application by far better and growing. And it has become part of our culture, just vehicle applications.
Well, vehicle applications, Brian, you're the pro at this.
Yeah.
You've got a number of vehicles. You've used them, including a race vehicle. It's pretty unusual.
I mean, it's a Toyota Prius. It's not necessarily considered a race vehicle.
Brian Hansen is the lead engineer at TriboTex, and he gets a lot of emails. I got a chance to look through them, Brian, and I picked out some of the most popular emails you get. And the first one is a question that I ask anytime I'm going to put anything near my vehicle. Is it safe for my vehicle?
It's safe for all vehicles. Doesn't matter if you have a performance car, an off-roader, or a daily driver. This thing is safe in any engine. Took us many years to develop it and make sure that it will be safe in any engine now and in the future.
Even my old classic car?
Your old classic car is going to love it. They removed lead from the fuel. That was a good lubricant. We've used zincs and such. This nanoparticle is superior to that technology, and it's a non-toxic, so you don't have to worry about its environmental impact.
You know, oil weights have changed a lot. It used to be just throw whatever oil you want in the car, and now new cars are so particular about what they need. So does it work with the brand new cars as well?
Yes. One of the best things about TriboTex is that it is a small amount of particles that are a lot of particles in a very small tube. So we do not change the behavior of your oil. It doesn't matter if you use TriboTex with synthetic or conventional oils. We do not manipulate the oil. We just use it as a carrier for our nanoparticles.
And another question that gets asked a lot, how long does TriboTex last? One dose, I guess, you put in your car.
TriboTex is terrible for us, but great for the people because it ends up lasting in your engine for over 40,000 miles. We recommend it maybe once every year, but really you can go a couple years without needing another application.
How do I know this isn't some snake oil I'm going to put in my car? What is going to indicate to me right away that it's working?
A lot of people in about 15 minutes of running will notice that their engine will get smoother, quieter, and in time you will see a performance increase because of the combustion efficiencies are going to up a little. So we're going to see better efficiencies inside the cylinder walls. You're going to have less friction. You're going to hear less lifter noise. You're going to have easier starts in the winter. There's lots of benefits that come from this tiny little tube.
And what are some of the benefits I'm going to see long term?
Long term, your car's not going to die. It's going to keep going. If you accidentally run out of oil, we do not recommend that. But in some cases, we've had customers come to tell us that they have survived and made it to a shop without oil.
But you don't have to do the research yourself because these guys actually have it on their website.
Yeah, we actually have all of our scientific papers on our website. We've worked with national laboratories, and we've been proven in many other engineering labs and are currently being tested in some very large companies right now.
NASA?
NASA actually gave us a spin-off. They published us this last year, so if you type in TriboTex NASA, you will find us on the internet.
These guys are the real deal. How much should we use in any engine at any given time?
Okay, that's a good question. A lot of people have different sized engines, and it's hard to find a product that's just right. Our TriboTex Original, which is this middle-sized one, is really good for anything between like a 2-liter and a 6-liter engine. It's a little thin on the bigger side or a little heavy on the small engines, but it's totally fine for all of that. Any excess will just drain out with your oil, and it will build up as much as you need. If you don't have enough, we have a satisfaction guarantee. Hit us up. We might give you another tube for you. And also, if you have a small engine, like below 2-liter, we have a TriboTex Mini, which is often great for 4-wheelers, motorcycles, snowmobiles, lawnmowers. These things are great for small cars. The Toyota Prius that I race, my TriboTex Mini works great.
We talk about oil. There's all kinds of oils out there, and for cars that have been around for a while, there is the high mileage oil.
Yeah.
Should I use that for my older vehicle when I'm using TriboTex?
You can use any oil, but we recommend using just a normal oil. Now, high mileage oils have special additives in it, which can compete with TriboTex nanoparticles. The TriboTex nanoparticles are going to be superior to those particles that you're going to find in your oils.
And I saw a few people writing in asking when they should add TriboTex. Is it every fill up, every oil change? How often?
I recommend using it after an oil change. Get a fresh set of oil and blend the TriboTex with a quart of oil to get it to disperse quicker into the engine. When you add it to your engine, you need to run it for about 500 miles at least. Give it a couple thousand better, and then it will stay in your engine for over 40,000 miles.
Well, TriboTex is going to make your engine perform better. It's going to actually repair your older engines, and it's going to make your car last longer. Check them out at TriboTex.com. We love our friends at TriboTex, and we love you at home for watching Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com. More great products for your vehicle and a Motorhead of the Week that you're going to love. See you in a minute.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. Industrial workbenches with integrated tool storage. And brought to you by PaintedAutoBodyParts.com, the leading U.S. auto body parts online store. Lincoln Electric, everything you need for your welding and cutting needs. And by Comec, automotive machine tools and workshop equipment.
Well, there's something you never want to see when you're driving along. Your oil pressure drop to zero. It might just be an oil pressure sending unit, or you may have a real problem. Welcome to this AMSOIL Tech Tip. It's all about the oil pressure. You can see right here is an electrical gauge. It uses electrical signals, so that could fail and you may have oil pressure. So what you want to do is you want to run a manual oil pressure test. Just look at your manufacturer specification, find an oil plug in there, pull out your sending unit, put your gauge in there, fire up the vehicle and read your oil pressure. What should your oil pressure be? Well, once again, you're following your manufacturer specifications. Ours is fine there. But Len, that's not the case all the time. You got these oil pressures and you got these technologies, man, like variable valve timing. Oil drives these wipers to the left or to the right. Oil has to go through these tiny little passages to get there. Len, all this technology has to function, and heat plays an important part when it comes to oil pressure.
That's correct. Heat has a direct relationship with oil pressure. As the heat goes up, the pressure can come down. And there's a number of things that can affect that. Just the temperature outside can have an effect on that. What you're doing to the vehicle can have effect on that. If you're towing, you have the air conditioning on. Different environmental factors will have an influence on that. My point is, we build the oil to be able to deal with all of that. So we have the proper base oils in there. They're very robust, very strong, so that they don't fall apart under heat, and you see that oil pressure loss.
When you think about that, I had a Dodge and the manufacturer called for 3 to 5 at idle oil pressure. Not a good thing.
No, it's not a good thing, right? You want to make sure that you're built properly, providing that protection.
Absolutely. You'll end up with zero oil pressure, Len. I know you never want to see this, and I don't either. So if you don't want to see this, make sure you go to amsoil.com. You can get all these products and make sure your car is going to run in tip-top shape.
A few months ago, we featured retired Air Force General Max Stitzer as our PaintedAutoParts.com Motorhead of the Week. Well, Max, in turn, has nominated a friend of his to be Motorhead of the Week. His name is Eric Alexander. Now, Max and Eric met back in high school where they shared a love of music and a love of cars. Eric took that love of music and built it into a very successful career in the high-end audio industry, and includes some of the amazing innovations and inventions coming through his company, Tecton Design. And his love for cars and other things that go has grown too. Eric is an accomplished hot rod, street rod, and race car builder. He's owned, driven, and raced dozens of cars over the years. His current fleet, you'll love this, includes both vintage and modern dragsters, a jet boat, a T-Bucket Roadster, a late model Corvette, and a Maserati. Eric is a regular at drag strips in Utah, Idaho, Colorado, and Wyoming. And General Stitzer even drives one of Eric's dragsters when he gets the chance. And the General says Eric wins on a routine basis himself, but he's best known for helping others perfect their skills and becoming winners too. Eric Alexander has an amazing technical knowledge. He's a pillar in the Western U.S. hot rodding scene, and he loves sharing his knowledge to help others enjoy the sport too. That makes him the perfect PaintedAutoParts.com Motorhead of the Week. And if you know someone who should be our Motorhead of the Week, just send us a note. Go to motorheadgarage.tv and tell us why. That is also the same website you want to go to if you have a product you want to see featured here on Motorhead Garage. That's going to do it for this week. We hope you join us when we do it once again next week. Until then, drive safely. So long.